Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, March 20th, 2025. Now if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my best bet in college hoops, that's my Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. It's the first round of the NCAA tournament. Here are the games for Thursday. First up, we start with the first game on the board. It's going to be Creighton and Louisville. This one, 12:15 Eastern. It's going to be on CBS. I mentioned from the beginning of the season, I really like this Louisville team. Very strong team fundamentally. Shot quality-wise, they take good shots. They get to the rim. They take a lot of threes. They don't make them at a great rate, but they certainly score a lot of their points from three-point range. And this was a team that lost its best player at the beginning of the season. Only 7 games into the year, Keyshawn Pryor went down for the year. And not a lot of people are expecting much to begin with. Now you lose your best player. Really, those expectations were a lot less. And now you see an 18-2 conference record playing in the ACC championship. You lose that one, but you lost to Duke, who's arguably the best team in the country right now. So for me, I think Louisville's put together a great campaign. I don't think this is Creighton's best team. Still, a solid effort for them this year. Give them credit for making it back to the tournament. But while the one thing I would say in favor of Creighton is they do have that tournament experience. Louisville's a very experienced team themselves in terms of D1 experience, but Creighton with guys like Ryan Kalkbrenner and Stephen Ashworth, who's made 3 tournaments in his collegiate career, they do have that NCAA tournament experience that I think does go a long way, especially in these early rounds. So I'll give them the credit for that. But I think Louisville wins the turnover battle. I think they win the rebounding battle. I think they take better shots consistently. I'm going to go with Louisville in this one. Next up, we'll go to the matchup between Montana and Wisconsin. This one is 1:30 Eastern on TNT. Wisconsin's a pretty sizable favorite in this game, but I think this spread's even actually a little bit light. I think Wisconsin wins this one by 20 plus. I've mentioned I like Wisconsin, another team we backed recently quite a bit. They weren't able to get the job done in the Big Ten championship game for us, but we were able to cover in their wins over UCLA and Michigan State. And this is just a really balanced team. They're top 30 in both adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency. They take care of the basketball. They're a great defensive rebounding team. The number 1 free throw shooting team in the country at 83% as a team. And I just think when you look at Montana, this is another program that's put together some solid teams over the years, and you definitely have to give them credit for winning this Big Sky. I mean, this was a kind of a wide open conference in my opinion this year, but Montana really relies on making a lot of low percentage shots at a high percentage rate. I don't think they're going to be able to do so against this Wisconsin defense consistently in this ball game, and I don't love this Montana defense. I think the Badgers score at will in this game, so I'm going to go with Wisconsin. We see a pretty steep total. It makes sense. I expect a high-scoring game, but most of the points scored by Wisconsin. Next up, we have Tennessee and Wofford. This one is going to be 6:50 Eastern. It's going to be on TNT. Now, Wofford is a dangerous dog just based on what it does offensively. Great three-point shooting team. They take a ton of threes per game, score a lot of their points there. They're also a great rebounding team, top 30 in offensive rebounding percentage. If you're a good three-point shooting team, that's what you really want on your misses to get those second chance, wide open looks in the corner and catch it on those threes. So Wofford is a dangerous dog in that respect, but I think they got a miserable draw in this matchup. Playing any of the 2 or 3 seeds in this kind of range, or even a 6 or a 1 seed in the 1 to 3 seed range, Tennessee, the number 1 3-point defense in the country, is not the team that Wofford wanted to face in the first round. Tennessee has struggled on the defensive glass this year at times, but mostly in SEC play, going against some of the best teams in the country, like Florida in the SEC championship. I think Tennessee will be sharper on the glass in this one. Their defense is outstanding. Their offense, even this year, shot quality-wise, very strong. I know last year you had Dalton Connect, and he was a superstar. But this year, Zakai Ziegler is a top 10 college basketball player, in my opinion, in all college hoops. So I think Tennessee's fine in this one. I think they score at will. I think their defense is good enough. There is definitely a path for Wofford to compete in this game. It's going to take them shooting about 40 plus, maybe 45 plus % from three-point range, 10 or more threes, 10 or more offensive rebounds. If they can get that done, like we've seen some Cinderella story teams do, they could find a way to compete, maybe win. I don't think it happens often enough for them to keep up, though, in this one, so I'm going to take Tennessee. Next up, we have Drake and Missouri. This is the 6-11 matchup in the West region. It's going to be 7:35 Eastern on True TV. Now, Drake is a very popular selection to not just cover in this game, but to win outright. A lot of people have him moving on in their brackets, and I understand why. I mean, Drake 30-3 record. It's tough to go against that kind of record. They're a really fun team to watch this year because they were chock full of subdivision players from last year. Ben McCollum brought him over. He's a very, very talented head coach. This is a very talented team, and very strong team overall, shot quality wise. But similar to Wofford, I think they got a really bad draw in this game against Missouri. I just can't go with Drake in this matchup. Missouri, they look to speed things up. I mean, Drake is the slowest team in the country on the offensive side, but Missouri is the complete opposite. Very aggressive team on both ends of the court. They force a ton of turnovers, which is not great news for Drake. They turn the ball over quite a bit. I think Missouri is going to look to run and gun in this ball game and kind of shoot Drake out of the game early on. And if that's the case, if Missouri finds itself in a sizable lead early, I don't think Drake's going to be able to keep up. I don't like their chances to run the floor with Missouri for 40 minutes. It's one of those games where, Missouri, very talented team offensively. They're top 5 in adjusted offensive efficiency. Their defense, the rebounding on the defensive side does worry me a little bit. But like I said, with Tennessee, that was against a lot of SEC teams, some of the best teams in the country. Now up against Drake, I think Missouri does a better job there. I think Missouri is too much in this one. I'm going to lay the points with the Tigers. Next up, we have UC San Diego and Michigan. It's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS. This is the 12-5 matchup in the South region. Michigan is a small favorite, totals in the low 140s. Now, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I like UC San Diego overall. We've taken them so many times this season. I've had my eye on this team as a potential first-round pick from the beginning of the year. But I think they got a bad draw. And you're going to say, Ron, you've given out 5 favorites on the Bank Shot Breakdown. What's going on? This is March Madness. This is the time to take dogs. What's going on? Where's the Cinderella stories? I say be careful with blindly, forcing yourself to take underdogs in March Madness. Let's remember last year, a lot of people were very dog happy in the first round, looking to take a lot of big time dogs. We found a few like Oakland over Kentucky, but it was a pretty chalky tournament. You look down the tournament, a lot of the better seeds won the game outright and covered the spread along the way. Take the champion, UConn. They were the champion from the year ago. They go into the tournament as a big favorite to win it all. Most people picked them to win their bracket. Not only do they win it again, but they win every single game along the way against the spread. And most of those games, they were sizable favorites, even in the championship game over Purdue. So I say be careful just blindly forcing yourself to take a dog just to take one. It's very fun to root on an underdog and have a plus money money line ticket, but I don't see it on Thursday. Personally, I think there's more on Friday, but Thursday, I think it's pretty chalk heavy. I think Michigan wins this game. I think they match up well. The one thing I would say with Michigan is the turnover battle should be lost by them, by a good margin. UC San Diego takes care of the ball. They force a lot of turnovers, but their perimeter defense, I think, is a big problem. Michigan, the much more experienced team. They just won the Big Ten tournament. I got to go with Michigan in this one. Lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.